welcome back to Elfo Deco. Today we are going to be making something very sparkly and colorful and functional. So we have these rainbow geo trays for today, and they are made with gold leaf and glitters. And here's a close-up of how sparkly it is, very shiny, and the glitters actually have a holographic effect. So I will show you exactly how I made these trays, all the steps that are involved. It took several layers, and then all the materials that are used to make these trays will be linked in the description. So let's get started. These are the molds that we will be using to make our rainbow geo trays. We have a hexagon shape and a heart shape. I made both of these myself. They are available in my mold shop if you want them, but if you want to make your own molds for these geo trays, you can also check out my mold making tutorial on how I make my molds. For this first layer, we will just pour the rim for the trays, and I am using Totoboats high performance resin with the slow hardener version, tinted with Black Diamond Pigments Midnight Blue Mica powder. When I pour just the rim, I try to be careful and not get much into the center of the tray. That's just to not waste resin, but if you do, don't worry too much about it. We can always clean up any drips in the center of the tray that's not part of the rim after it has hardened. We'll just use tape to clean it up. As I am pouring the rim, I just want to let you know that all of the products that I use to make these trays will be listed in the description. The resin, the molds, all the glitters, and anything that I can think of. If there are any discount codes, I will also let you know in the description. I do have a discount code for my YouTube viewers for my mold shop, so you can save a little bit on the molds that I make. You can also save a little bit on the resin that I use if you purchase through my referral link, so all of that will be in the description. We let the first layer of resin harden, and now we can pick up any drips with tape. I am just using regular packaging tape. This is tape that I use to close my packaging boxes, and I get this from Walmart. It's nothing special, just regular tape. You can also use blue painter's tape, and I'm just dabbing on the mold to pick up any of the extra drips that are on the side and in the mold. For this second pour, we will be using gold leaf to create two thin lines from end to end of the mold, and the rainbow glitters will sit in the middle of the two gold leaf lines. For the gold leaf mixture, I am using the same resin, Totoboats high performance resin, the slow hardener version, and I am mixing in full sheets of gold leaf into the resin and breaking them up as I am mixing the leaf and resin together. You can also get these as flakes, so you don't have to do as much mixing as I am right now, but I prefer to get them in the sheets because they are much more affordable and you get a lot more as opposed to the flakes. I also want to mention that for this mixture, you want to make sure that it is a thicker consistency. So that's why you see me mixing in sheet after sheet after sheet, because that way the gold leaf can stay in place more easily. To draw the gold leaf lines, I am using a smaller silicone mixing stick. That way I can get a thinner line as opposed to using the larger mixing stick. I have a little bit more control over this. I'm also trying to just pick up as much of the gold leaf itself as possible as the literal resin part in the mixture, because that way it minimizes the spreading of the gold leaf. You can also get these gold leaf in different colors if you like. I've seen green and purple. If you wanted to match certain designs, you can get the other colors to play around with. You can also do this technique with glitter or other inclusions. Just keep in mind that a thicker mixture is easier to work with when you want to create these definite lines. It's just a lot more easier to control that way. Once we finish drawing our gold leaf line, we're going to let this harden. That way we are not going to have the glitter seeping through the gold leaf and into the design part that we want. We just want the glitters to stay within the two lines that we drew. For the glitters, we are using these holographic shards from Elrisy, and these are the specific colors that I am using. They are labeled on the packaging. If you like these colors and you want to get your own, you can pause the video at every single color. I show the label clearly, and you can just look it up on their website for that specific color. I really like these glitter shards as opposed to chunky glitters or super fine glitters because this really gives it like a geode effect as if it was out of a rock kind of thing. So these are really nice and they give me the effect that I'm looking for. For this pour, I am also using Totabold's high performance resin, the slow hardener version. I am using that same resin throughout the whole video, and I will be linking that in the description if you want to try it out. Anyways, I have the resin mixed up already and they are separated into medicine cups. The medicine cups hold at least, I think, 2 ounces, and right now they are filled halfway through, so about 1 ounce. And I just want to show you about how much glitter I am putting in each mixture. I kind of want it just a little bit of a thicker consistency, but not too thick. This is the same idea with the gold leaf, that if it is thicker, you will have more control. This will also make it easier for the glitter mixture to stay within the 2 gold lines when we're pouring it. Again, with any part of the process, you can swap for your own materials and create your own designs. Like these glitters that I am using, you don't have to use these specific glitters. You can use the chunky glitters. They're not my preference, but they do still look really nice. Or you can use very fine glitter, and I'm sure it will turn out really nice as well. You don't have to use the same materials as I am. This is the last color that I'm mixing up, the purple, and once that is done, we will use tape again to clean up any of the glitters that fell into the mold. Little specks of glitters kind of flew around as I was pouring them out of the bag and into the cups, so we just used the tape to lightly tap on the spots to pick up the glitter. Now I am pouring the glitters into my mold to create the rainbow geode. And notice how I poured the purple first and I'm working backwards from purple to red because these trays are facing down, they're backwards. Like when you demold it, the results are flipped. And this doesn't matter too much with the hexagon, but more for the heart. So I am just doing them both the same way. And I just want to mention that this part of the video, it looks like I'm working very slow, but I actually sped this up 2.5 times, so I am actually working even slower than what you see in the video. I'm trying to be very careful not to over pour and get the glitter outside of my 2 lines. I showed you earlier how high my 2 gold leaf lines went up when I picked up the molds at the beginning of this layer. So that's all the space that I have to pour these glitters. You can already see how sparkly these glitters are and that sort of geode effect. These glitters have a holographic effect, so it helps a little bit more with the sparkles, and it will pop even more when we add our background layer. Right now in this 3rd layer, the glitters are cured, they hardened already, and now for this background layer we are using the same midnight blue, but we are adding a little bit of Unicone's crushed crystals to make it look like stars, and then just a little bit of Mixo's black tint, so it's a little bit darker and it's gonna mimic like the dark sky. Glitters are going to pop really nicely on this. I just want to make a note that all of the mixing that you see in this video is very sped up. This is 5 times speed as opposed to normal. That just saves us time in the video. So when you're mixing your resin, don't mix too fast because it will introduce a lot of bubbles to your mixture. We're just filling up the mold with this midnight blue color, and then we will let it fully harden to demold this. Now I left this alone for overnight just to make sure that it fully hardened. That way we're not demolding any bendy resin. And look at the results. This is so sparkly and so pretty, and the holographic effect from the glitters makes it even sparklier. And the only thing I would say is that I wished I should have mixed up the glitter a little bit, maybe blended the colors more, but they are still super cute, super sparkly, and the colors pop really nicely against the dark blue. I just want to show you a close-up of the sparkles, all the glitter, and that rainbow holographic effect when you move it around. It is really pretty. That was the hexagon, and this is the heart. It's very, very sparkly. And then, just for example, we're putting some of my jewelry on there just so you can see, and functional and pretty. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed making these rainbow geo trays with me. I had a lot of fun making them, and I will definitely be making this design in a bunch of other things because it's just so sparkly and colorful. If you have any questions or feedback regarding this project, let me know in the description and I will try my best to answer you. And let me know if there is anything else you want to see next. I'll see you next time.